Sharna Burgess sets the dance floor on fire on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. And this talented entertainer joined me as co-host as we experience all that Terranea Resort offers its visitors and guests. From cooking to enjoying the spa to an afternoon poolside photo shoot, Sharna showed us why everyone who meets her falls in love with her. With the sun sitting on the Pacific, we sat down with the ballroom dancing phenom to get to know more about how she discovered her love for dance at the age of 5 and what's next for her blossoming career. Well, hello everyone. Today we're here with Sharna Burgess. I mean, all day, right?
All day.
How's it been, by the way?
It's been a beautiful day. It's been really wonderful just sharing the experience here and meeting some of the people that work here and learning about this amazing, amazing resort.
Exciting. Now, you know, you've been here all day. You're such a trooper, easy to work with. I mean, you're a true pro, and I mean, it reflects on what you've done in your life. But you started young, right? Oh,
I started really young. I was in probably baby jazz and baby ballet from when I was about 4 or 5. I didn't quite start ballroom dancing until I was, I think, somewhere around 7 or 8 years old.
Now, is that rare for a younger person? I mean, I know you're from, obviously, Australia. Is that more common there? Because I know in America, not a lot of that was going on. Now, probably people are into it.
Ballroom dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really wasn't common in Australia at all, and still probably isn't quite as big in Australia as it is here in the States. But I had members of my family that were in ballroom dancing. I was in a little country town called Wagga Wagga, and some of my cousins.
Wagga Wagga?
Wagga Wagga, yeah.
Really?
So
Serious?
good they named it twice.
Oh my goodness.
But no, some of my cousins were doing ballroom dancing, and I went to one of the dance competitions with my grandma one day. And there was just something about it that I fell in love with, and it could have been the dresses, it could have been all the sparkles, it could have been the dancing with boys, who knows?
Right, yeah.
But it was just so much fun for me, and I started it then. And I got addicted. I haven't stopped.
And then, you know, you were in Australia, obviously, and you moved around a bit. Now, what are the places that you lived over there, and how did that affect your career?
I kind of lived everywhere. I lived in the country. I lived in Sydney for a little while. Okay. Then at 18, I packed my bags and moved to London on my own.
That's a big deal.
I was so adamant about knowing what I needed to do, and I just packed my bags and moved. And it was a crazy, crazy thing to do at 18 years old, but it was worth everything.
Well, when you got to London, what happened? I mean, how did you make a living?
Oh, I was working 3 jobs to be able to afford to dance. I was teaching, working in a sandwich shop, and I was also doing part-time temp work in offices. And it was really quite difficult. You know, I would function on 3 hours sleep a night, so because I was practicing all the time.
Oh, it never stops, right?
Never stops. In every spare moment I had, I was either having a lesson or practicing, and I did that for 2 years.
Wow. And then did you get a break? I mean, when was your big break?
I was 20 when I was spotted at a dance competition, and the choreographer of a show called Burn the Floor saw me there.
And that went to Broadway, right?
That went to Broadway. I actually started on Broadway with that show, and it was such an amazing experience to be a part of a show and be a part of it growing at the same time. Burn the Floor had already been around for, I think, 8 years before the journey to Broadway really happened, and I was a part of it for 6 years. And in 2009, we went to Broadway, and I have to say it was a dream that I didn't even know I could have. Growing up being a ballroom dancer, Broadway wasn't always
No, it wasn't really an option, right?
Yeah. No.
At 20, was that a lot of pressure on you, being on Broadway? How did you take that?
I think no matter what age you are, Broadway is pressure. Right. To know the people that have walked on those stages before you, that's sacred ground. Yeah, it is. There is so much history there, and you truly feel it when you walk onto that stage. And I remember having a moment standing there in the Longacre Theatre and looking out to the empty audience and thinking, oh my goodness, I'm actually here. How and when did this happen, and how did I get to be so blessed that this is what I'm looking at right now? Yeah. And there's something so magical about an empty theatre. Something so magical about standing on an empty stage and seeing it before you fill it with your energy and your art. And it's certainly my home. I feel most at home when I'm on stage, and I certainly want to go back to Broadway one day.
What's it like when you go back home to Wagga Wagga?
It's amazing. My dad and my nan tell everybody about, you know, my business and what I've been doing, and everybody knows Sharna's story, and I'm apparently always in the local newspapers, which is wonderful to have an entire town so proud of you. And every time I go home, there's always the lady at the bank or in the corner store, oh, you're Ray's daughter, oh, congratulations on such a wonderful career. And, you know, I think I feel that love no matter where I am in the world.
Do you tell them, hey, it's just beginning, because you've got stuff going on? You know, you're on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
What season is this for you?
I am in my 6th season of the show, but I've done 3 seasons as a pro with a celebrity now.
And you're starting to get up there now.
Yeah, last season it was the semi-final, and we were really hoping for that final, but you never know what's going to happen, and everybody was so amazing. But I'm certainly hoping to, you know, progress further and further in what I can produce each season.
And that passion carries through in everything you do.
Oh, it has to. You know, I don't think anybody that has a schedule like a dancer does and the toll that it takes on your body could do it without passion.
Yeah,
you know, it hurts. Every day you wake up and something new hurts.
Absolutely.
And you can't say there isn't a day when you go into rehearsals and your body is saying, just stay in bed. Just stay in bed and take a day, but you can't. You know, you have to get up, stretch, warm up, and remember why you do this, that we are some of the very lucky people on this planet that get to do what we love. And there's something about when you're a creative person, if you don't feed that need for the arts, you go a little bit crazy.
Right.
You know, you have to express.
A little piece of you dies inside.
A little piece of you does. You know, I always say that dance chose me. You know, it was something that I couldn't help. It came into my life, and the minute it did, I couldn't let it go. It found me, and we've been together forever.
Well, I know at one point in your life, too, when you were younger, you pushed yourself a little too far.
I did. I was 15, I was at the World Championships, and I was in the semi-finals of those World Championships representing Australia. And I came down in jive, I did something to my knee, and I thought, oh, what is that? Never had an injury, never broken a bone. I came off the floor and my knee was blown up like a balloon. They take me to first aid, and as the doctor is telling me that I need to take some time off and I shouldn't dance anymore for about 6 weeks, my partner comes running in and tells me that we've made the final. So of course, me at 15 doesn't listen to anything the doctor says. You're
indestructible at 15, right?
I'm invincible at this point. You know, I'm Wonder Woman. I can do anything. I make them drain my knee, put cortisone in it, acupuncture in all different places, and I go out and I got through half a dance.
And it was
half a dance, and I had to come off the floor. And those 30 seconds cost me 12 months of my dance career. I had to have 6 months in a brace. I was black and blue from hip to ankle. 2 weeks I couldn't walk. I was so sad, and just, it tore me up. And I have to say though that those 12 months made me realize how much I wanted to be a dancer, how much I couldn't live without it, and how much I needed to get back into it. And that was actually why I moved to London.
Okay.
To fast track my career. At that point, I had already been off the floor now for 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Finding a dance partner was very difficult. And so I thought, if I want to make this happen, I got to go to where it's at.
Yeah,
and that was London at the time. But at some point, it was a godsend, because up until that point, I was always being pushed to be a dancer because I was so good at it. I chose it and I loved it, but if I'm going to do this, then it's got to be all in. I was never a normal kid. I never got to have a sleepover, and you start to wish for the things that you never had. And all of a sudden, after those 2 years, it was nobody else's choice but mine. I knew at that point that I wanted nothing else in this world but to live and breathe dance. And thank goodness it happened, because here I am today with the passion that I have.
It sounded like it really made all the difference for you.
It did.
So out of diversity came success for you.
Absolutely.
And you're doing great. And it's just people, you entertain people, you inspire people, and people really love you, and you bring a lot of joy to people's lives.
Thank you.
And by the way, you're a darn good co-host.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for being with us today.
No, I appreciate
thanks for spending time with us and sharing your life story. And I'm sure there's a lot more to come.
Oh, there is.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Hey, I got a smooch too, I like that. And thank you so much for being here with us. And until next time, just remember to enjoy.